Hey up lads and lasses, Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, and there is a lot to break down in these trailers, but there's one thing I really want to hone in on, and it's Cortana. But not just Cortana, but it's more Chief's relationship and how he reacts and talks to this new Cortana model. Chief has like a really roller coaster sort of like up and down conversation with Cortana in this, and I really want to talk about why this is the case. And actually I think there's a lot more and a really great dynamic going on here that I think is going to play out through the whole campaign. So let's break it down.
Ultimate Halo.
So, just before we continue, make sure you subscribe to Ultimate Halo. We're nearly 100,000 subscribers, and honestly, I'd love to do this as my job, so your guys' support would mean the world. And let's go into some of the bigger details that are going on here. So first of all, I do want to address that Chief on here is talking to or listening to quotes from the original Cortana. I feel like it's kind of obvious, but I think it should be clear because it sounds like this Cortana's experience. She's got life experience, she's emotional, she's thought about herself a lot, whether it's a flashback to something she said during Halo 3 or it's something that she's somehow communicated to him through the events of Halo Infinite is yet to be seen. But let's just have a listen.
I need you to understand. There's not much time. If you knew how you were going to die, you knew how you were going to die. How would you live your life differently? How would you live your life differently?
If you knew how you were going to die, how would you live your life differently? I think Cortana, somewhere in there, obviously that's the old Cortana, because that's the emotional, that's deep stuff, man. So I think ultimately what we're dealing with here is Cortana very emotional, and I feel like she's split into different matrices or fragments or whatever you want to call it, and it's quite sad because you look at the evil Cortana that's in Halo 5 and you think there's no empathy for that girl. You can't connect with her on any level. But maybe Halo Infinite's doing something a little bit deeper and actually saying to you, look, there's a good Cortana underneath there. And that's going to sort of feed into what we're going to talk about in a moment.
Where is Cortana?
The rogue AI known as Cortana is gone. She's been deleted.
How? By you?
Look at that straight away. By you? Chief is very like confrontational with this new Cortana. And to be honest with you, the idea of, because he'll be targeted with the task of from Halsey to get rid of this new Cortana because she knows how dangerous she is. And of course, Chief is going to listen to Halsey. But does he really want that Cortana dead? Or does he want to bring him back from the brink of destruction? Does he want her to be fixed and back to how she once was? Think back to Halo 4. Cortana said to Chief, they'll give you a new model. They'll replace me. And he goes, that's not going to happen. It was really emotional. But here, that's why he seems very cold to the existing Cortana. And I don't think he means to be like that, but he's struggling. He wants the original Cortana back. He knows this isn't Cortana. But imagine going through that. No human has ever had to go through a similar event. It's not like your parents died and then they've cloned them and they come back and you know that's not your parents, but they look like them and kind of act like them. How would you react to that? And considering Chief is a super soldier who was kidnapped as a kid, and he's incapable of, like, feeling on the whole, don't you think that's going to be very difficult? Hence the cold reaction.
Of course not. Did you hit your head or something? Don't you remember? My instructions were to enter this installation, imitate Cortana, and lock her down for retrieval. Yours were to take her back to the Infinity for deletion.
So clearly they have two tasks here, ultimately leading to the same thing. But they want her to go back to the Infinity. So, do they want to inspect her? Of course, I'm sure Halsey wants to prod around in that AI brain of Cortana's and see what the hell's going on, and not only what information she obtained, but what brought her back from the brink of rampancy. Because I'm sure rampancy is something that humanity wants to cure, so they don't side with Cortana. And humanity can say, hey, look, to all the created in the galaxy, I can cure you. You don't have to go with this crazy woman who is promising crazy things. So just a thought.
So if it wasn't you... Okay then.
So obviously something's going on here. She was supposed to delete herself by the time Cortana was deleted. So once one Cortana's deleted, the other does the same. So I'm not sure what's going on here. It's not entirely clear, But it sounds like it's going to be one of those things that unravels as the game goes on.
There's something else. On successful deployment, my deletion routine was supposed to complete. Still here.
Good.
Good.
Something stopped your deletion. We need to find out why.
So Chief knows something big is going on at play here. But actually, it must be something that's bigger than Cortana. And one thing I speculated quite a while ago is that something bigger than Cortana is going on. Because we know that in Halo 5, she went to the domain and something miraculously fixed her. But the domain wouldn't have fixed her. The domain's like the Foreigner's wild, bigger version of the internet. It's a massive database, essentially. So something has done that. But what?
Still here.
Good.
Good.
Something stopped your deletion. We need to find out why.
But this wasn't the mission.
The missions changed. They always do.
Are you sure?
So he's kind of had a bit of a moment there with Cortana. We're going to sort of continue with that in a second. But Cortana seems a bit uplifted by what Chief just said. And just watch her face in a moment. This is quite critical if you ask me. I know it's really hard to see. And if you watch the raw gameplay, in fact, my head's in the way. Watch her face here. She's smiling quite heavily. You notice that? And the way she approaches it, it's kind of like it's not cautious. She's leaning her hand forward. And she's kind of like, we're doing this. So to me, Cortana is almost like in a state of disbelief that Chief's taking his chip to her. Because that's quite a personal thing for Chief. Imagine all the times Chief has taken Cortana in and out of his chip. Maybe he's not been doing that so far in Halo Infinite. He's been very reluctant to do so and put her in his head. So the fact that he's been that forthcoming and said, hey, look, let's do this mission together. That's quite heartwarming to Cortana, even though she's an AI. But you know what I mean? She still feels emotion. So that's quite a heartwarming thing to her. So there's quite a lot to unpack there. I think Chief probably at some point in this game has had an issue with the new Cortana. He's probably showed her the cold shoulder and he has a problem with her. Not her personally, but can you imagine the emotional impact that it has on him working with her? So it's all very interesting stuff. We're going to break more down in the coming days. We've got the new gameplay multiplayer reveal coming soon. Hope you enjoy. Once again, my name is Fletch from Ultimate Halo, and I'll see you next time.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.